Hi, this is Roxy from Papercraft Central. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fabulous day. I have just received my Altenew Beauty Within set from Altenew, which I purchased from Arts and Crafts Australia. Now, just a little shout out to Arts and Crafts. I've been buying my products from them for around nearly 12 months now. The girls are great. The orders come out quickly. The communication is brilliant. And the other thing is that they donate 10% of their profits to the Professor David Morris Cancer Research Fund. So it is great that someone is looking after somebody else, and cancer research, we all know how important that is. So if you haven't seen them around, or you don't know that they're around, go to artsandcraftsupply.shop and have a look. They've got very competitive prices, and ladies, they also give you little bonus products and some chocolate. So when we're crafting, we can always do with chocolate, hey? So let's get into this. Oh, by the way, I am not paid by Arts and Crafts to do this video. I don't get commissions, nothing, okay? I choose the companies I like to promote. I like to promote Australian companies. I've got several that I deal with, and I take my time in getting to know them. And as I said, Arts and Crafts Supplies, I've been ordering them for around 12 months now, and they've been brilliant. I get my Distress Oxide inks from them. I've bought my Big Shot Express, which is the electric one. It's just sitting to my left, which you'll hear in going in a moment. So yeah, just don't think that I get paid. I don't. So let's get into this. This is a little bit of a game changer. Well, it's a big game changer for me. I love stamping. I love die cutting, but I absolutely love stenciling. So Altenew would be my favourite go-to for stencils. They are just unique, and they're stamp sets with matching die sets, and you can get stamp sets that are layering stamp sets, but this is a little bit different. So as usual, you can stamp, then you can do colour whatever you like, and then of course you can come along and you can die cut your piece out if you want to. What's the game changer? Are these stencils. There's 3 in the set. So what you do is you can stamp, you can then come along with the stencil, and you can pop it over your stamped image, and you can colour. Now you can use inks, gelatos, chalks, pens, anything you like. So that's the first layer, and then you come along with your second layer. And here's the next colour that you'll be doing. So again, you just match it up, you do your colour. We'll be doing this in a moment. I'll show you how to do it, but this is the game changer. So then once you've done that, of course, again, you can die cut it. Now, if you're not into stamping, let's take the stamp set out of the equation, and let's just use the stencil. So you first do this one, then you're going to do your second layer, then you can come along and you can die cut your stencil out. So how's that? Now if I can get this on right for you, there you go. So how's that? That is brilliant, isn't it? When we want to make individual flowers or leaves as such in a stencil, you have to cut them out. You know, if you want to 3D them over a background, things like that, we need to cut them out. No longer. Look at this. Die cut. Easy. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you just some basics on this. I would love to do more on this set because there is so much you can do. But this one's just going to be involving stamping, stenciling and die cutting. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so here I am, I'm back. Before we get right into it, we're just wanting to show you what tape I use to tape things down. This is Scotch removable tape. It is not magic. Okay, the magic one is in the green box. This is in a blue, obviously. But it's removable tape. It's less tacky. Now you can buy these at office stationaries like Officeworks, Office Choice, and online, and some craft retailers sell them as well. So what it does is that it holds down your project, but it doesn't damage your cardstock or your paper. So I'm about to rip this off. This is a brand new piece, and I'll rub it in really hard for you. Alright, and now I'm just going to rip it off. No damage. Okay, do it again. Alright, so it's brilliant. This is what I use all the time. So you reuse this over and over until it doesn't hold your cardstock or your stencil. Once it becomes, once it's used for quite a while, and I do say quite a while, it won't hold down, it'll lift. So when that happens, you just throw that piece in the bin and you get a new one. What I like to do is that I like to loop this, and just like so, and I'll stick it on the back here like that. Now usually I use a glass mat, but so that it's not too glary, I'm just using A3 paper. So I'm going to stick that down, and then I'm going to put my stencil on there. Now, whichever way you want to go. So I've said it's reusable, so you're going to see some green bits and so forth on my tapes, but it's just to show you that you can reuse these. Now I'm going to stick down the bottom and the top. Now if this was a full stencil, and what I mean by full stencil is like this. This is another one of Altenew's. So if I was using this, I would stick it down all the way round so it doesn't move. Because I'm only doing this flower, I only need to secure it so it doesn't move up here. But see here, I don't want the ink to go in there. So what I need to do is just put a little piece of tape over there, just so it doesn't, when I'm doing my shading here, it doesn't go in there. Alright, so my first colour I'm using is called Broken China. And all I'm going to do is pounce. Now, you can use sponges, you can use the lifestyle brushes, you can use the blending applicators, contour brushes, lots of different things. But the biggest thing is these little pieces here. So when you look at them, they're just little tiny pieces that can move. Now if I was to smear over there, that could lift and bend it or break it off. Once it's broken off, it's done. So depending on your stencil, like with this one, I could actually just smear all the way over, no problem. There's no little pieces that are going to hurt. You're going to get hurt. But here there could be. So in this instance, I'm just going to pounce. Dab, whatever you'd like to call it. You could use daubers on this as well and do the same technique by just dabbing. So now I'm just going to make sure I've got everything covered the way I want it. So that looks pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do is lift up from the bottom. This is still going to be attached to the top. So I am just going to lift it up, tilt it up like so, and if I'd missed anywhere, I could actually put that back down and go over where I'd missed. So that's a really good, another good reason why you can tape it. You don't have to guess, you don't have to try and match it back up if you've missed a piece. Now, with this stencil, it is in order. So don't twist it round, don't turn it round, don't flip it. When you take it off the same way, keep it exactly the way you've had it, and then you can put the second one on. And see how it just matches in there beautifully. Just make sure you move it over and you've got everything covered where you need it to be. I think that's pretty good. And then I'm going to stick it down again. So just here, just in case I go over, I'm going to use another piece of tape just here, because this could be my card, my actual card, so I don't want any ink going over there. And see how it's close? I would get it on my cardstock. So the second colour I'm going to use is Peacock Feathers. So again, I'm going to dab. So in I go. So I'm just going to turn it on its side a little bit to get into the little pieces that might need it. That's why I tilt it a little bit. Okay, so that one's good. Okay, so again, I'm going to lift this up, make sure I've got everything where I need it. So I've covered everything. Yep. So now, that's just pulled off. I'm going to put the last piece. And see that? Fits in perfectly. Tape down. And the only difference here is that I'm actually going to tape this side down because I'm making sure that this part is secure. So my last colour I'm going to use is Chip Sapphire. This is going to look stunning. So let's see how well this comes out. So excited. Okay, so it looks like I've got pretty much everything in there. As I said, I like bright colours. I like pastels and things like that too, but I also like this bright colours as well. So just have a look. Oh, look at that. Isn't that just awesome? Okay, I'm just going to lift it up so you can see it a little bit better. And isn't that just grand? You probably can't see the second colour really well, but I can really tell you that it does stand out here. I can see it really well. So I'll be back in a moment to do a stamped image and do the same thing. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp. But before I stamp, I'm just going to show you something in regards to your stencil. See how this is matching at the moment? The ink is actually on the other side. Alright, so that matches there, but the way I stenciled when I stenciled the figure, as you can see, the ink is this side. So if I was doing the same colours, which I was going to, I could actually just keep the colours there and do this. But because it's upside down as compared to the stamp, I have to go and clean this now because I'm actually going to use the other side. So you can only stamp one way. That's it. With the stencil, you can stencil this way, or you can turn it round and do it whichever way. But when you're matching up to the stamp, there's only one way the stencil can go on. So just a little trick. I'll get it right in a moment. Okay, here we go to stamp. Now this is a Misty. It's a stamping platform. If you don't have one of these, by all means just use an acrylic block like you usually stamp. This changed my stamping life. It is absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen one work before, I'll show you what the best thing about it is. So when you are going to put your stamp down, you're going to put it face down so the stamped image goes onto the cardboard or your cardstock. So you shut your lid, you pick up your stamp. So now I'm going to use Nuvo Hybrid, and I'm going to deliberately not stamp all of it, just so you can see why these are so good. So you're stamping down. Now I always stamp twice. I like that crisp black outline. So when I do black, I always do this twice, so it's no problem with me doing this. But see how some of it hasn't come out. This is where this is brilliant because it's still in the same spot. So we can stamp it again. And this is what changed my life, because I am no good at trying to match up an acrylic block to an image. I'm just hopeless at it. So here, this is going to be just brilliant. Ta-da! Isn't that awesome? Alright, back in a moment and we shall colour this. Okay, so as you can see, I've put the stencil over my stamped image. I've taped it down again. So same technique is that I'm going to pounce all the way around, exactly the same as what we did when we were just stenciling. So this is what you're going to do, exactly the same technique. So this will show you. Okay, so just Alright, so that's the first colour, broken china. So again, as we did before, we're going to lift it. We're going to say, yep, look at that. And then we're going to say, going to tear this bit off just here. And we're going to keep it the same way. And we're going to put it on the next one. Okay, so just matching it up there. Alright, so this time I'm going to tape down here. Alright, and I'm just going to use another little piece along here. Alright, so next colour, peacock feathers. So off we go again, getting into all the places that we need to go into. Same technique. Okay. Alright, so lifting up again. You'll be sick of hearing me say the same thing. Whew. So nice. So nice. Okay, so keeping it the same way, again, we're going to put on our last colour. Okay. Got plenty of tape around there, that's not interfering with anything. And the last colour again was sapphire, chipped sapphire. Don't know whether I'll have enough colour here, might have to get a little bit more, I think. Go in there. Again, this is going to look fabulous. Okay, so I've made that quite dark, as you can see, but I really wanted it dark. So always the choice is yours. Oh my goodness, look at that. Isn't that just so nice? Okay, so this is the stamped image. And here is the stenciled image. So now I've kept, excuse that little error, I've kept the centres free because there's so many different things that you can do with the centres. Like on the stencil, you can colour that in. Alright, so that's what this little hole is here, right there. So you can put that over the top and you can colour that in. On the stamp set, you've got the little ones here that you can actually put in the middle and just stamp on there if you like as well. So there, in my examples later, you will see ones that have been done in the middle. But yeah, alright, I'll be back. Alrighty, I'm back again. Just to show you some magic of videoing, some leaves. Now with this one, I deliberately did a lot of secondary colours so that you can see that if you do too much, you really can't see the lines of the leaves. So you do have to be a little bit careful with how deep you want it, because if you do it too much, it will actually cover up those lines. And when it's a highlight like this, it sort of looks a bit, well, it doesn't sort of look right when half the lines are there and then half the lines aren't. So you can go a little bit too far. Always try the lightest touch. You can always add ink, but you can't get it off once it's there. So then here's just the stencil. Alright, so that's not the stamp, that's just the stencil, which I think comes out beautifully. And also know that you don't need to do the whole layers. If you just want the one layer, that's fine. Excuse me. So, when we stencil, if we wanted to make a card and we wanted another set of leaves like this, we'd have to sit there and cut it out and then put it on and then carry on. But no more, because of the magic of Altenew. Look at that, that's the die cut of that leaf, of that stencil. Bingo. There we are. Here's the flower. I'll get it out in a moment. Getting a bit tongue-tied at the moment. Just got to work out which way it goes. So there we are. So if I wanted to stamp or to stencil, there you go. So imagining that's the stamp or the stencil that I'm going over, so that when that's going to be behind the other two, you take the masks off after you've finished, and you'll have a bunch of flowers, a bunch of leaves, or whatever you like. But the game changer is the die cut with the stencil. I'll be right back. Okay, just for the last step, just to show you die cutting, I'm not going to actually go through the processes. If you've got a die cutting machine, you know how to die cut. What I just wanted to show you here is that this is the magnetic platform for Sizzix. It matches my Big Shot Express, which is the electric one that's next to me, and also I used in my Big Shot Plus. They are really invaluable when it comes to die cutting. You don't have to use tape, you don't have to worry about whether they're going to move. It's going to stay on this no matter what you do. It's not going to move. Now I can take this off, and yes, it's moved when I move the Perspex plate off, but it's not moving now. See what I mean? So when you cut it out, it's absolutely perfect for it. So I hope you've liked this video. I really would like to do more videos on showing you exactly what other things that you can do with this set other than just inking. So if you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you like, give me any comments, and if you haven't looked at arts and crafts supplies, go and have a peeky-boo. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.